So you're a Facebook advertiser now, and you are looking for the secret sauce to be the best Facebook advertiser in the entire universe. We came to the right spot, except that there is no secret sauce, there's no hack, there's no easy way to run Facebook ads. It just takes a certain set of skills and skills that you have to learn over time to become an expert or a pro and to be the best at it.
Girls only want boyfriends who have great skills.
So what I've done is I've came up with 5 tips that I wish I would have known when I first started running Facebook ads. And if you follow these 5 tips and you get better at each one of these different skills that I'm going to talk about, you will definitely become a better advertiser. Most people, they're looking for the quick hack, the quick way to make their ads work. And when it comes down to it, there's a lot of different parts to running Facebook ads. Some campaigns are very complex. Some are just very simple. Hey, buy my thing and go buy it. In each one of these, there's a lot of different components that you have to consider whenever you're running these campaigns. Start with tip number 1, and that is do your research. I know it's boring, but it's really important to do the research before you do anything. Before you write copy, before you do some creative, before you write your landing page, and especially before you write your offer. So the best source of information is actually going to be from your current clients or customers. And if you don't have any current clients or customers, there is a wealth of information online. So we usually go to places like Reddit, we look for forums, we look for Facebook groups, we look for review sites, and one of the ninja hacks is to just go see what your competitors are doing, right? See what your competitors' offers look like, see what their websites look like. And if they are running Facebook ads, you can actually spy on their ads to see what they're running right now. So Facebook has what they call an ads library. You can dive into that ads library and find out if your competitors are actually running ads right now. And you can kind of see what they're doing already. So step number 1 is to do your research before you do anything. This can be a very boring phase of this, but it is very important. All right, tip number 2, learn how to write copy. Now, copywriting skill is arguably the most important skill as a marketer. If you can learn how to write copy, not only will it help you as a marketer, but it'll also help you out in your professional career. I used to stay away from writing copy. I always said I was not a good copywriter, but it's just because I hated it, right? I wasn't good at it. But over time, you'll develop these skills and become a better copywriter. And it is something that will help you out more than any other skill that you can learn right now. Now, there are these new AI tools that are coming out. I'm sure you've heard of ChatGPT. There's other AI tools that have been around for a long time that help you write copy. But from our experience, they are a great tool to help you come up with ideas and help you brainstorm some ideas and maybe even get a rough draft going. But in the end, it's usually copy that's written by humans, at least nowadays. I'm sure AI will become more advanced and surpass us. But right now, really, you need to write your own copy in order to have the best performance out of your ads. So there's a lot of really good books on this. I would suggest looking at Influence. It's about the art of persuasion. And there's just so many books on copywriting, but pick up some of these books, start reading them. And then the other thing is just practice, practice, practice.
We're talking about practice, man. I mean, how silly is that?
Just write as much copy as you possibly can, and then you'll end up testing those with your ads and see it and what works and what doesn't work. But this is a skill that is always ever evolving, and it will pay off in dividends the better you get at it. All right, now tip number 3 is to be creative. That's right, you need to be creative so you don't bore people like I am doing right now.
I'm in danger.
Yes, so whenever you're being creative, you need to tap into your creative juices and come up with some ideas that will capture people's attention, get them engaged with your posts, and then take action. Now, when people go into social media, they're looking for that dopamine hit, right? The other thing too is the Facebook algorithm favors ads that people actually engage with and enjoy. So if you put out an ad that triggers a lot of negative stuff, or maybe people just aren't interested in, it's probably going to cost you a lot of money to serve that ad. The ads that have better engagement, that have more of a positive feedback loop, and tell the Facebook algorithm that people actually want to see this, it'll bring down your ad costs and it'll help increase your engagement on the ad itself. So when you're being creative, you need to start thinking from a user that's going into the social media platform. A lot of times we see something as simple as a just random candid image of, like, say me doing something normal, and it looks like a normal Facebook post, right? Sometimes you have to get even, more creative, where you're doing actual graphic design and doing either meme type stuff or putting together a very elaborate ad. Another thing that's working really well right now is the reel format. So portrait mode videos perform very, very well, and they don't have to be overthought. You can actually just do a talking head video where you just, talking to your audience. But you can get more elaborate and you can create skits and put together funny videos. But the thing is, you need to tap into your creative side and have fun with it. And the cool thing about advertising is that you can turn ads on and turn them off as much as. So if you have 100 ideas, you can throw those 100 creative ideas at your audience and find out what works. And that allows us to go to tip number 4. And that is always be testing. So throw 20, 30, 40 different ads out there. They'll run them all, and maybe they'll find a winner here and there, but the problem is they won't know why it worked. The other big problem to this is that they'll waste a lot of money. So yes, you can test thousands of ads, but the more you're testing, the more it's going to cost you. So you need to make sure that you're running tests with an hypothesis to understand what you're testing, right? And measure it and find out what worked and what didn't work. Anytime you're doing a test, there is a lot of variables involved. There's, ad copy that's involved, and that ad copy has variables in it. There's, the creative that has the variable. There's the landing page that's a variable. So there's a lot of different things going on whenever you're running an ad. So you need to be able to isolate things and find out what's working and what's not working. The rise of video, that makes things even more complicated because a video has so many different variables in it, right? It's made with thousands of pictures, and each one of those pictures is essentially a variable. There are some quick and easy ways to test these things, and this is a skill that you got to learn. Do a lot of research on this and find out ways to master your testing skills, because that'll help you get to answers a lot faster, and it'll save you a lot of money. And that brings us into tip number 5, and that is write better offers. Now, this is one of the most overlooked things, and it's because it's at the very end of the funnel, right? So usually when you're running ads, you have the ad, you have like a landing page, maybe you have like a webinar or something in there, and then they finally get to the sales page, the offer. The reason why this is, I think, most overlooked is because it is expensive to test this area of the funnel, because it takes all these different steps to get to the sales page. So the traffic at the sales page can be expensive. So one visitor might cost you, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks, maybe even higher, depending on what kind of funnel you got put together. So you need to learn how to write a good offer. And one of the best resources that I've found so far is a book written by Alex Hormozi called $100 Million Offers. At the time of this recording, I believe the book is only 99 cents on Kindle, and he had a free online course that went with it to really help dive in and to write a really good offer. Now, in his book, the biggest thing he talks about is what he calls the value equation. And the value equation is pretty simple. It's basically the dream outcome times the likelihood of achieving it, divided by the time it takes to make that happen, times the effort or sacrifice. So whenever you're putting together an offer, you want to make sure that the value is, the dream, and the likelihood of making it happen is huge, right? You want to make sure get you to where you want to be, and there's a very good likelihood that will get you there, right? It's not only going to take a few days or 3 months, whatever it is, and it's not going to take a lot of effort. So the more you can get to that point where you're saying, your dream can happen, there's a very likelihood of success, and by the way, it's not going to take very long and it's going to be easy. The more you can get down to that basics of delivering that offer, the better chance your offer is going to perform. So highly recommend this book. It's called $100 Million Offers, and like I said, it's only 99 cents on Kindle. It's almost too good to pass up, so check it out, read the book, and I guarantee you'll be writing better offers after you read the book. And again, the most important step of running ads is writing a really good offer. If you do this, everything else becomes so much easier. Now, those are my 5 tips for running better Facebook ads, and they're really 5 different skills. When you learn these skills, you become a better marketer, and it doesn't matter what industry you're in. It doesn't matter what channel you're advertising on. It will help you be a better marketer. Now, if you enjoyed this video, there is a chance to subscribe, and anybody that subscribes to this video will trick that YouTube algorithm to thinking this thing is a badass video. Hit the subscribe button, notification bell, up to you, doesn't matter. But I really appreciate you staying to the end and listening to the content. We put these videos out as much as possible. We want you to be better Facebook advertisers and better marketers. Thank you so much.